Yeah, greetings to everyone across the world, wherever you're watching this from. This is Godmill TV. Once again, we've come your way today with another session on economics. Today, we're going to look at two things. That is the reasons for changes in the exchange rate, and then also the different types of exchange rate systems that we have. To start with today. We're going to start with reasons for the changes in the exchange rate. But before we continue, I plead with everyone watching. Please, if you want to receive more content for us, please subscribe to this channel and then also ring the notification bell so that whenever we make any video, you will be the first to have access to that video, especially if you're doing economics. I know this will go a long way to help you in your academics. Thank you for that. Now, uh, let's look at the reasons for the changes in the exchange rate system. One of the basic changes or basic reasons for the changes in the exchange rate system is the economic upswing and the downswings of in the economy. Now, if we talk of economic upswings and downswings, what does it mean? This simply means that there are some times that things are very good in the economy and some other times things are very bad. It's just like economy sometimes can be compared to human life. Now, in our own lives, we know that there are some times that things look so glorious, so rosy. Life seems to be very good, and some other times things just go sad, things just go bad. That is how the economy can be related in this instance. So there are times that things are very extremely good in the economy. There are times that the economy can be downgraded. There are times that fuel prices will go high, life becomes very unbearable. Food prices increases, and things are just not working. In some other countries, their currency do not even have value at any time. Um, Anymore. These are some of the changes that occurs, the upswings and the downswings that we're talking about. Now, if we talk about foreign demand for a country's export, this also causes what changes in the exchange rate. Now, if there is a country that is interested in goods from your country or from a local country, that definitely affects the exchange rate. So if there is higher demand, it means that more exports would be leaving the country, and that affects the changes. It will definitely make the exchange rate to rise. So those are some of the reasons. And then domestic demand for import. If locals or a country is looking for more goods to buy from other countries, it affects the exchange rate. This simply means that their currency has depreciated. Let me say has appreciated to the sense that they will be able to buy goods from other countries. You know, they'll be able to buy goods from other countries, and that changes the exchange rate system. Now, relative interest rate or investments, interest on investments and savings. Now, we all know that in normal banking practices, if we make savings, there are always what change interest that are paid on these savings or any form of investment that we make. So these investments affect this investment we make affected by what interest rate, and this interest rate definitely makes the, how do you call it, sorry for that, my leg just hit the camera. Now this affects the changes in the exchange rate of a country. Now inflation rate is another common thing that affects a country exchange rate or the exchange rate in general. Now, what do we mean by the by inflation? Now, every country has its own inflation rate. Now, differences in inflation rate will also lead to changes in the exchange rate. For example, In if the inflation rate of a country is higher than that of its trading partner, export will become more expensive. Demand for that particular country's goods will decrease, and demand for import goods uh, will increase, and therefore foreign exchange will also increase. Now, if like I said, if there is a what there is a differences in the inflation rate, this affects what affects the exchanges in the exchange rate. Now, another thing is also speculation. We all know what speculation does. Speculation makes people to take actions before time. So if there is there is a speculation in the market that the currency would uh, appreciate or depreciate, people tend to make more economic decisions hastily to hedge against such occurrences, and this affects the exchange rate system. And then investment in overseas, or in other words, we can say changes in capital flows. Now, if there are changes in capital flow, or let's say, yeah, there is an investment, there is an inflow or outflow of capital, this will affect the demand and supply of forex, and therefore the exchange rate. If there is an inflow or outflow, if there is inflow, that is more money coming into the country, this will definitely affect the exchange rate system. If there is an outflow, this would equally affect the exchange rate system. All right. Without much ado, those are the reasons for changes in the exchange rate. Let me take it once again, or let me just remind you on what we have just discussed. The reasons for the changes in the exchange rate was what we've just discussed. One, we said economic upswings and downswings are some of the changes that causes that affects some of the reasons that affect the changes in the exchange rate. We also said foreign demand for a country's export. That is when people from other countries are looking for our goods or domestic goods to buy. This affect the exchange rate. If domestic demand for import, that is people from their country demanding more of goods and services from outside, this definitely also affects what the exchange rate. And then interest rate on investment and savings also affects the exchange rate. And then we also have what inflations. Inflations. Now, like we say, every country has its own inflation rate, and that affects what the exchange rate. Now, and then we also talk of investment from overseas, that is capital inflow or capital outflow, also affects what? The exchange rate. And then speculations, also known as hot money, also affects the exchange rate. Without much ado, I would like to proceed to the next one for today, which is actually the main topic for today. That is the types of exchange rate systems that we have. What are the types of the exchange rate system that we have? There are four basic exchange rates that types of exchange rates that we have. Uh, yeah, and the first one is a free floating exchange rate system. We also have the pegged exchange rate system, which is also known as adjustable exchange rate system, or crawling peg, basket peg, or target zone or bands, and manage float system. There are four. I'm going over it again. We have free floating system. We also have the fixed uh, exchange rate system. We also have the pegged exchange rate system. And then lastly, we also have the uh, managed floating exchange rate system. Please, pegged exchange rate system. It's also known as adjustable peg, crawling peg, basket peg, or a target zone or bands. Please. Do not consider this as other forms of exchange rate. It's only peg that has all these different uh, what names. Now, apart from these four, there are also let me call them some other uh, microsystems that falls under these types of exchange, these main types of exchange rate systems. Apart from the four, there are some micro ones that are, let me say, use the word intermediary exchange rate systems that we have. One which is the dollarization, and then we also have the monetary union system, and then we also have what we call the currency board system. We also have what we call the currency board system, but these are only intermediary ones. But the four major or the four most important types of exchange rate systems that we have are the fixed exchange rate system. We have the free floating exchange rate system. We have the pegged exchange rate system, and then we also have the managed floating exchange rate system. These are the four basic ones that we should be looking at. Now, with that much ado, I would like to focus on the first one, which is the free floating exchange rate system. Now, what is a free floating exchange rate system? Just like the name implies, it's free, which simply means that there is no government interventions, nobody intervenes in the market. The market forces, which is demand and supply, they are the ones that determines the exchange rate in the market. Simple. The market forces of demand and supply are the ones that determines the exchange rate system. There is no government intervention. There is no one intervening in the market. It is only the market forces. The market forces, which are demand and supply, they are the ones that uh, basically uh, determines. They determine the, how do you call it? They determine the exchange rate in the market. Now, I would like to take what is on the slide. Free floating exchange rate, a freely or clean floating or flexible exchange rate system where the monetary authorities refuse any intervention in the exchange rate market is the simplest type of system. The rate is then freely determined by market forces and can fluctuate by any amount at any moment. More precisely, a pure float is an exchange rate that's determined in the market without any interventions. Flexible exchange rates are determined daily in the market for foreign exchange by the forces of demand and supply without restrictions imposed by governmental policies on the extent to which rates can change. Now, with that explanations, I would like us to look at the advantages of a free floating exchange rate system. Advantages of a free floating exchange rate system. What are some of the advantages? What are some of the advantages? Now, one one of the advantages is that markets efficiently allocate resources since there are no capital flow restrictions. Resources are allocated efficiently by the market without any form of restrictions on capital. Now, the changes that happens in terms of nominal exchange rate carry the bulk of adjustment for foreign and domestic shocks. There are no opportunities for speculations to profit at the expense of the country's central bank. In this system, speculations does not count. Speculations does not count in order to profit from these. And then to continue with this, demand and supply for domestic currency will be balanced in the market. Demand and supply for domestic currency, they are balanced in the market. there is none like none of these that supersedes each other. Where there is more demand and there is less supply, or where there is more supply and there is less demand. No, there is a balance in the system. And then uh, the other one also is there is no obligation on the part of the central bank to intervene. There is no obligation for the central bank to intervene in this market. Then the last one, the requirement for a country to hold large reserves is eliminated. The requirement for a country to hold a large reserve is eliminated. Thank you for watching this video. In my next video, I'm going to continue with the disadvantages of uh, the foreign exchange rate system. I hope you will stay tuned and watch that video, my next video. But before then, I again ask you to subscribe to this channel for more videos. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment sections and I will get back to you. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.